Hey guys, it's Blaize. I'm so happy to be doing this video because I got such an amazing response from you guys last time. You guys left bunches of comments. You guys really appreciated it, which is all I wanted because these videos are the most meaningful to me, and that is my anxiety / panic attack videos. So I thought I would go through some more things that have personally helped me, a couple do's and a couple don'ts, and a couple different options that you can look through. I know some people will say all this talk stuff is BS and the only thing that's ever worked for them is medications. I understand, I totally feel you, but there's also on the other end of that spectrum people who say medication is the devil and I need some other options. So these are just a few things that have also worked for me. So let's jump right into it.
Number 1, audio therapy or ASMR.
Okay, audio therapy or ASMR. There are tons of ASMR videos on YouTube that you can go and look up that fit your needs perfectly. I actually own CDs of thunderstorms and rain and all that stuff, but now you can find all of that on YouTube as well. I personally, all year round, but mostly around this time, I love doing it as well. Audio therapy is very, very helpful. Hearing sounds that will relax you and calm you down. Some people are relaxed by the sound of thunder and lightning, and even, okay, lightning doesn't make a sound, but you know what I mean. The thunder and the rain pattering will calm them down. Some people, like myself, fire crackling. I love the crackling of fireplaces. Sometimes just people talking to you in a very soft and calming voice. There is like forest sounds of, you know, animals and stuff like that. There's just so many things nowadays. Some of them are a little fetish related in certain aspects, but it works great when you're having anxiety or you're stressed or you're panicking and you just need something peaceful that calms you down during this. Audio therapy or ASMR videos are very, very helpful, I have found, during anxiety and panic attacks.
Number 2, do take deep breaths and do not hyperventilate.
Okay, do not hyperventilate. Do take deep, long breaths. Now, if you're like me, you hyperventilate a lot, and that is something that's probably the first thing that you learn when you're going to therapy for anxiety or panic attacks or anything. The first thing they tell you is breathing exercises. Take a deep breath, slowly long in and hold it for like 5 seconds and then slowly breathe out. I'm not going to tell you how long to do that, hold it in and take it out for, because everybody I have found is completely different for how long. Like if I hold my breath for like the 10 seconds that one therapist will tell me, I'll pass out. So everybody is different when it comes to that, and you don't necessarily have to do that, but is very important, because when we are in a panicked state, our first body instinct is to hyperventilate. You're panicking, you can't, you're trying to breathe as you're breathing extremely fast, which makes you extremely dizzy and will make you very, very weak. It'll make your mind very, very weak. It'll make your body physically very, very weak. So make sure, I know it's going to happen regardless, but you have to keep your mind. My grandmother, my nanny, taught me something when I was younger, and it's true, that your mind cannot think of 2 different things at the same time. So if you're thinking of, like I said, my phobias stem from my emetophobia. So if I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to throw up, and that's all that's on my mind, I'm not focusing on my breathing. So if I take that and shift that and focus on my breathing, I won't be thinking about throwing up. So your mind can only focus on one thing at once, and when you are panicking, the most important thing to do is to focus on your breathing. Breathing will make all the difference in the world on either way. It will either really mess you up if you're not breathing properly, or it will very, very, very much help you if you are taking deep, long, soft breaths. So that's also in the book.
Number 3, using your adrenaline to your advantage.
So obviously when you're panicking, adrenaline is coursing through your veins. Some people like adrenaline. They are adrenaline junkies. When you're trying to calm down from anxiety or a panic attack, adrenaline is like the worst part, because it is coursing through your veins. It is consuming everything. So what you want to do is take that adrenaline and use it to your advantage. And there are plenty of ways to do that, such as screaming into a pillow or punching a pillow, or if you have a punching bag at home, or where, you can buy anything that's soft to punch. Don't punch a wall. Don't punch anything that you can really severely hurt yourself on, or that can break very easily. When I was a little child, and even now, my father always told me, come on, hit me right here, punch me in the arm a few times, because you take that adrenaline and you use it to your advantage. Take it out, punch something, scream into something, which I'm going to get to in a second, and just take that adrenaline and get it out of your body, because adrenaline is your worst enemy when you are panicking.
Number 4, primal scream therapy.
Primal scream therapy is awesome. It is amazing. It's not often used, only because when you are panicking and if you want to scream, like, you're going to be afraid, like, your neighbors are going to call the cops, because, like, oh my god. But primal scream therapy is extremely good. I use it all of the time. What I will do is I will take a pillow, or just into my arm or something like that, and just scream as loud as I can, as hard as I can, for as long as I want. And that is using your adrenaline to your advantage. Primal scream therapy is extremely helpful when it comes to panic attacks, when it comes to anxiety, and even when it comes to depression, when it comes to anger problems, because all of this ties into one crazy, horrible, not crazy like mental crazy, just crazy like, you know what I mean, just this crazy, horrible emotional web. All of this ties in together. So primal scream therapy gets 2 thumbs up in my book.
Number 5, mirror talking.
Now, we touched on self-talking in my last video. I have a very specific memory when I was in elementary school, and one of the first times they called my mother to pick me up when I was having a panic attack. She took me by my hand and led me to the nearest bathroom, and she told me to look into the mirror and repeat after her. And I repeated after her while looking in the mirror. Looking in the mirror while talking to yourself and self-talking makes a huge difference. When you are looking in the mirror, it is like you are talking to someone else, when in fact you're talking to yourself. But you're talking, it's a lot easier to self-talk when you are looking into a mirror. Like, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be fine, you just need to breathe, everything's gonna be okay, nothing bad's gonna happen. Your worst fears, they're not gonna happen, they're just fears, and they want to stay here. Don't let them. Don't let the fears stay here. Take control. You've done it before a billion times. You can do it again. And I say that almost every single day in a mirror, even if I'm not in a full-blown panic attack, because it does help throughout the times. It's because I find it very therapeutic to help others. People, my friends, my family, they all come to me as a therapist. Every single one of them. Whenever they're going through a panic attack, depression, anxiety, anger problems, bipolar problems, anything like that, they always go, Blaize, I need to talk to you. And of course, I love helping others. And when you help others and you're speaking to others, in fact, you are also speaking to yourself, and you're talking to yourself internally as well, and mentally. Whether you actually realize it or not, it is extremely helpful for you. So I would suggest, even just, I keep mirrors around me all of the time. Just get a tiny, from the dollar store, get a little tiny pocket mirror and just talk to yourself a couple times a day if you want, or if you're just having a panic attack and you just need to talk to yourself in the mirror. Mirrors make all the difference in the world, I promise.
Number 6, keeping your hands busy. Idle hands.
Last one we're going to discuss is keeping your hands busy. Now this is an extremely important thing. I have many tics when it comes to my panic attacks. Mostly it is touching and pressing my face and picking the skin off my lips. Earlier this week I almost had to go to the doctor because the day before I had a panic attack, and without realizing it, and tics are something you do without actually realizing it, and my major horrible tic since it started when I was 7 years old was I pick the skin at my lips, and I'm not even noticing when I'm doing it. I literally picked my lips raw and bloody and blistered, and they were swollen and red, and I thought it may be infected. I could barely talk. I couldn't eat anything. It was really bad. So you want to keep your hands busy, not doing what I have done. I'm talking, there's so many different crafts you can do. My mother used to, well, first of all, you can, like, drawing. Even if you don't draw, if you can't draw, I have in my journals just tons of little, this is a very cool technique. So I'm going to show you right here. Doing this, I can do this literally for hours when I'm panicking. Just drawing little tiny scribbles and putting them into a pattern, making a little picture out of them. You don't have to necessarily do anything. My mother used to do hook rugs. You can get that at pretty much any craft store, Michael's, AC Moore, anything like that. Hook rugs is great. Any kind of craft, anything, or if you want to do a stress ball, doing that with your hands. Keep your hands busy. Keep your hands doing something and focused on something else, because that will help your mind ease up, and it will also help with the adrenaline as well. And going back to, your mind can't focus on two things at once, so focus on something with keeping your hands busy. It is extremely helpful, I promise you. Just try it out. If it doesn't work for you, then what do you have to lose? All you did was try something and it didn't help as much, so go on to the next one. You can't give up just because somebody suggests something to you and it doesn't work for you. Trust me, I know. It has happened to me hundreds of times, and that's not an exaggeration. Hundreds of times where I've gotten so frustrated because people will be like, oh, well, do this. This has helped me throughout my entire life, but it doesn't work for me. So it's so frustrating, but you cannot give up. Do not give up. If something doesn't work for you, if one technique does not work for you, go on to the next one. Try that one. That one might not work for you, so try something else. And that is what I am trying to do with these videos, is give you guys different options and directions to go into, and trying to help you understand that you are absolutely not alone. You are not crazy, and there are ways to not fix it, but there are ways to cope with it and live with it. So thank you guys so much for watching. That's all I have for this video. I hope at least one of you will try at least one of these things, and I hope this was helpful for some of you out there. You are not alone. I promise you. I know what it's like to suffer with this. It is the worst feeling in the world. It has paralyzed my life. It has crippled my life. It controls my life. So I understand, and I feel you, and I feel terrible, and if I can take it away completely, I absolutely would. But you just got to remember, do not give up. Life is so short, and I know a lot of people say that, but I'm not going to go into a pity party, but if you've been with me, look at all the horrible things that have happened in my life. I've well, seeing my fiance die at 24 years, he was only 24 years old. Seeing my boyfriend of 6 years die, he was only 31. So life is so short, and you never know when it's just gonna be gone. And I know that that's like, oh my god, that's a trigger for a panic attack, but you got to remember, life is way too short to just suffer throughout the whole thing and not fight back. I understand the suffering, but if you do not fight back, if you do not want the help and you do not want to change, you're not going to. I've said this to many people who go, well, I have a therapist appointment, but I don't want to go. Then what's the point? Do you not want to get better? I understand I have agoraphobia. I'm afraid to leave my house. I have to take sedatives every single time I leave my house. So I do understand that, but you're not going to get help if you don't want the help. So you gotta help yourself first. You come first, unless you have children, and then they come first. But thank you guys so much for watching, and if you'd be so kind to click on my face or go further below and hit the subscribe button and subscribe right now, because I always have beauty related contests, giveaways, and raffles, all free all the time, at least once a month. They're 100% free, not sponsored ones whatsoever. They go from my pocket and give directly to you. I'm going to be doing the drawing for my latest one for the month of November in just a couple of hours, so that's very exciting. And December's free giveaway is going to be great as well. All my giveaways are so fun and they're free, so what do you have to lose? All you have to do is be an active subscriber and you have a chance to win. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay wicked. Later, Blazers.